there's no more to say. There's no more to say. This collective have tried to explain themselves, get through to people, explain their point of view, their belief system, whatever the situation is. And at this point, there's nothing more you can say. Okay, sometimes in life we have to accept that people just aren't going to understand us. Okay, bottom of the deck, Emperor in the reverse. You're dealing with a toxic masculine. Okay, toxic masculine energy, because it can be a man, woman, somebody non-binary, an environment, or collective. And what I want to say is that I want to say it's people. These people are refusing to see your point of view. Okay, they've slipped into their toxic masculine energy. They think they're right. They cannot see outside of the construct of their mind which they have created. Will more fool them. More fool them. They've had their opportunity. They've had their moment to stand back, reflect, see the situation in your point of view as it is, and now the time is done. It is time for you to walk away. Okay, it is time for you to walk away with your head held high, understanding that there was nothing more that you can do to try and convince these people of what you believe, basically. Okay, what we're going to remember is, in spiritual sense, a lot of spiritual people these days are like religious people. Now, for me, spirituality is about being a free-thinking individual. It's about being open to new concepts. It's about deciding what you believe on in regards to that concept. And as I always say, for me, do I want people to believe what I believe? Well, yeah, of course I do, because I believe it. But if they don't, that's fine. But don't then start kind of causing trouble and issues just because somebody preaches something that you don't like or goes against the grain. Okay, and it's got an air of that to it. Okay, I want to tell you to take some time out to ponder the decision moving forwards, because I've got the Two of Pentacles there, Devil energy there, Ten of Swords in the reverse, Death card, Seven of Cups in the reverse. Right, so with the Ten of Pentacles, I'm going for kind of... There is a bit of a karmic element to this, hence why we've got the Infinity Loop. But I kind of want to say this is more about... Excuse me, you've said everything that you can possibly say. And now it's about making a choice in regard to what direction do you go in next. Now, there is some devil energy lingering around this, because this collective, this group, I should say, that are refusing to see your point of view, that are in this toxic masculine energy, they've got into this mindset of, we've got to prove you wrong. We don't like what you're saying, we don't believe what you're saying, so we have to prove you wrong. And that's the devil energy. Now, that devil energy will also play on you, because, and this is why this message is coming through, because you will have almost this innate urge to do the same. Because, as I say, everybody wants to think they're right. Of course they do. Human beings. But that's not the task at hand. The task at hand here, Ten of Swords in the reverse, is to do a release in the situation. Like I say, it's about understanding and accepting that in this situation you have literally said everything that you can say, you've done everything that you can do. If you can lead the horse to water and all that, right? So if you can start doing the release, if you can start accepting that, that's when the Death card's going to get activated. So the universe is going to step in, they're going to remove you out of this energy, they're going to kind of kill off the argument, they're going to kill off the back and forth, so that you can then start stepping forwards, because at the moment it's blocking your Seven of Cups, okay? Your abundance, your manifestations, your wish fulfillments, okay? I want to tell you that if you release and you lean back into source, okay, you have that trust, belief and knowing, things will move on quicker. But you have to. The only choice you have to make right now is choosing to release yourself. Not this choice of, I don't have to go this way, I need to go that way, because I feel like you will be guided. As soon as you release into it, it's going to release you from the situation, and then you'll be guided towards that new path moving forwards. This is an old timeline with a toxic masculine energy knocking around, and it's time to kind of move on from that. Four of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, Four of Wands. Okay, so what this is saying to me is that it's time to start investing in yourself. Okay, Eight of Pentacles, you're not that far off. If you keep working away like the apprentice there, you know, that's going to lead to your Four of Wands. You're happy ever after. Okay, you white picket fence ending. But you've got to be brave enough to kind of do it, okay? It's a funny one because I feel like with this collective, I think that you've kind of hit breaking point with people, but it's that innate urge to not so much prove yourself right, but trying to get people to hear you. You know, it's a lesson I've struggled with over the last couple of years. You know, so I just want people to hear what I'm saying, and you know, you can put out this content, you can put out posts, people see it, people read it, people watch it, but ultimately it's down to them whether they want to let you know that they're there. And sadly, a lot of the time that doesn't happen because people either don't agree with you or they're too scared to agree with you. Okay, so it's about that acceptance. Okay, Page of Pentacles, Three of Swords in the reverse position, Queen of Cups in the reverse, Seven of Wands. So with the Page of Pentacles there, I feel like that's saying just give yourself a little bit of an opportunity, a little bit of time, effort and energy to get this release done in the Three of Swords. Because at the moment, your feminine energies are wounded. They're upset. They feel misunderstood. They feel misheard. Stand your ground with yourself. Seven of Wands. Not with the situation. The time for the situation, the time for speaking is done. But stand your ground with yourself that you're going to go on to better things. Nine of Pentacles. That's the aim of the game. Going on to that abundance, looking back, reflecting on this situation at a later date and going, do you know what? I achieved it. Okay. Seven of Pentacles. You're not quite there yet, but you're going in the right direction. Queen of Swords, King of Swords, World card. Okay. I feel like this is asking you to balance your masculine and your feminine energies in a logical sense, accept the cycle's done, and then move on to something new. You're going on to greatness, but you've got to release this first. If that resonated, don't forget to drop a comment, like, and repost for me, please. If you want a personalised reading, they are available. Link top of the profile. Same day guaranteed from 10 quid, or you can book your phone and video chat there as well. Good luck, you got this.